Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm. Today I'm actually in Stratford, London at the International Athletics Championships, but the Olympic Park is absolutely beautiful, so I thought I would have a look around and take you guys with me. So you've got a beautiful canal here running through the park, and the swimming facilities there, the helter-skelter's there, and the stadium is over there. But what I really like is they've got these bands of planted up borders throughout the park. So you've got this seating area here with the nice grass, but then you've got these beautifully planted up walkways, which are really nice. Now it's obviously the end of summer now, so a lot has gone over, and during the Olympics they were planted up with wildflowers, but you can see now there's quite a lot of grasses. There's some verbena you can see in the background. I'm not entirely sure what the rest of these plants are, so I would give you names, but I'm not entirely sure what they are. They've got some Nautias, and this looks like a Herbaceous seed head or something, which I know they had a lot of. It's planted up tons with loads of lovely plants as well, and trees. And as you can see, so they've got these ribbon of pathways, and then they cut off down these separate little paths, which are then these heavily planted up borders, which I think are really nice, especially as you're in the middle of London. As I said, the park is free, you can come here any time. Here is the stadium where the athletics are being held. Lovely grass border here. And then we've got some clipped box, and then it's leading us down to these lovely verbena flower beds down the bottom here. And some of these beautiful Herbaceous are going over, but I love these cone heads anyway. I actually think I love them more than when they're in the daisy flower. And these are fantastic, and they'll stay like this all winter, and they'll just give that architectural addition, which I really like. And then verbena bonariensis, which, you know, spreads like wildflower, but is so good for birds and butterflies and bees and wildlife in general, and it looks fabulous as well. And then you can see all the grass borders through there. One of the things I really like on this set of steps is the repetition. So they've got the grass borders at the top, and then they've just got these two ribbons of box. So these two box walls here and here that go through it. And the planting in between is pretty much the same, but it creates this tiered effect at every single level as you go down the steps, which is really nice. And here is a little bit of echinacea that hasn't gone over yet, which always I think looks fabulous against verbena. That is just stunning border. Goldenrod, echinacea, Rudbeckia, verbena. Absolutely beautiful. And then down here, some fabulous Gabion Walls. I love Gabion Walls, and they can be permanent structures, but they're also really good for semi-permanent, in that you can put a Gabion wall up, but you've not concreted it into the ground, because it's basically just a wire cage filled with rock. So we're going to use these on the farm as a block to block views at certain angles, and then reveal. And actually in our driveway we want to have an expanse of Gabion rock with our cordon trees growing up along them, because they're really great for growing stuff against. So you can see again these beautiful walkways and these stunning flower beds. There's some aster in here as well, I've just spotted, which is very nice at this time of year. And then I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to look this up because this is rather fabulous. So let's go, we're going to go down to the canal and under the bridge. There's Westfield shopping mall over there. They've got a bit of a summer fair in here. And then you're back to fabulous borders. But actually these borders look like they're planted up differently. So let's go and have a look. So it's all still prairie style, but they've got different planting in this border. Oh wow, lovely. So they got some Nephophia in here, which are the red hot pokers, a couple of different kinds. Gladioli back there. These lovely, I think they're steepers or grasses of some type. Agapanthus. I'd like a little bit more planting and less grass. I think the grass has kind of overtaken it rather. But it might be just that other plants haven't cropped up. But those gladioli are lovely. The red gladioli against the agapanthus. Oh, and they've got some pineapple lilies up here.
And what about the orange ones this far?
Nephophias, the red hot pokers. Trying to do a little bit of teaching with Sard. Not that I know everything. A lot of more agapanthus out of this section actually. And it's gone out of my head what this is. I can't recall what this is. It's lovely though. It's really, really nice. And here's some of the pineapple lilies again closer up, which we've got a couple of them actually back at home. And they're planted at the back of the border and they haven't come up to the height that I'd like them. They're, you know, these ones at the back there, you can see they're quite high. These ones are quite low growing. So I think I'm going to dig the ones up at home up, and I'm going to move them into maybe pots, because actually up close these flowers are pretty stunning and really nice and architectural, but you just don't get to see them. So I think I'm going to dig my ones up and put them in a raised planter so you can see more. Let's go and actually they've got some beautiful ones up here that are a bit higher. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful plants. So some stunning planting here in this bed. So we're going to go over the hill and a bit further on. Wow, look at this. Honestly, this is like something you'd see at Chelsea. I really, really like it. So you've got these, away from the canal, which is now over there, you've got these green areas of grass, and then they're surrounded in these beautiful beds. Again, with a lot of autumn and late summer flowering plants at the moment. So Rebecca and asters. There's some grasses in as well. Really lovely planting. And so as well as loads of planted plants with actual ornamental and cultivated plants, they've left loads wild as well. So over the other side of the canal we've got all these trees, and then they've left it to go sort of managed wild, which is actually rather gorgeous. And then we've got this beautiful steep bank here, which might be a hangover from the Olympics, which they've just kind of left. And you can see that it's full, absolutely full of beautiful California poppies and some yarrow and lots of thistles, but it actually looks rather wonderful. So certainly an idea, if you don't want to do perfectly manicured gardens, I think something like this is rather special, especially up where those trees are. You can see it's lovely and shady and grassy, and then there's still tons of flowers. I can hear tons of insects. I can see bees, I can hear grasshoppers. I'm a sucker for pine trees. I love them, and even though they don't really fit with the landscape of the farm, I actually still want to put some in, because I think pine trees are fabulous things. They're architectural, they blow in the wind. Aren't they wonderful? Hello! Fabulous trees. I think I even like the park more now than I did at the Olympics, because the trees have matured They've done a lot of work with the planting, and the trees have really come into their own. And obviously at the Olympics it was brand new, so everything had been brand new and planted for the Olympics, probably only a season ahead. So there's a lot of annuals and wildflowers, and now everything's had a chance to mature. And it looks really, really nice. We're going to go and have an explore. There's a sign saying the Great British Gardens, so we're going to go that way and take a look. So we are in what they call the Great British Garden now. When I came here in the Olympics, it was really planted up nicely, and you can see that actually the beds have gone a little bit wild and got seedy, but the main sort of bit of the planting is still there, and they have this wonderful willow structure. And this is something that I want to do up at the farm, where we're going to be planting all those nut trees. I would love to put in a dome, a willow dome, so you can go and pick all your nuts, and then you can go and sit in the dome and shell them. And you can see it looks fabulous at this time of year because it's all started to bush out. It's so nice. Just imagine like sitting in a little dome. Sitting in a little dome, it's all green, shelling your nuts. Love it. Love it. So it's really, really nice. This is the other side of it. I also love the big slabs of stone they've got. Another favourite of mine, silver birch. Absolutely love silver birch trees. And again, we were going to use them up at the farm in some of the landscaping. However, they are really bad for pollen. I think I read that each flower contains at least 1 million pollen particles, and as Sud has bad hay fever and I have baddish hay fever when the trees come out early in the season, I think he's tired. What was I saying? Oh yes, so we may have to rethink the silver birch issue, sadly, because they are gorgeous, and actually I really love this planting with this ornamental grass underneath, and then these silver birches coming up. It's rather lovely. So we may go for something instead like one of these cherries, where they've got the beautiful ridged bark. I want something that's tall and upright, but also has stunning bark on it, so you can get some interest on the trunk as well. You know, even though it's obviously not kept immaculately, it's still rather fabulous. There's a pond. I've just spotted a pond. Let's go and see it. Might give me some inspiration for our pond at the farm. Where's this pond? Oh wow, look, there's a whole willow tunnel. Oh, and this is even better. Look at that. Love it. Okay, I'm going to show you the pond in a minute. Let's just go inside this tunnel. Isn't it fabulous? And the good thing is with willow is as well, it's a quick growing, very harvestable wood. So you can use it for all sorts of things, including making structures, in making fences. You can grow it for firewood. I love this. I love it. And on the other side of it is the pond. So this is called the fish pond. I don't know if there's any fish in there. It's probably more of a wildlife pond, but again, it's fabulous. And this is also a really good idea for us, because the pond at the farm, we don't want to leave it just wild plants. We want to it's going to be wild, but we want to use some ornamental plants in it as well, just to give it a little lift and make it look beautiful all year round and really add to the wildlife. Add lots of flowering plants that are going to bring wildlife to the pond itself. So this is the Great British Gardens section of the Olympic Park. It's a lovely little subterranean garden, so the actual level, the street level is there, and then behind us the stadium is right up there, so it's kind of been dug into the ground. It's really nice. So that is a very, very quick whistle-stop tour of the Olympic Park. It's actually really vast. Some of it is shut off at the moment because of the athletics championships. It's free, it's huge, so So if it's a nice day and you're in London, head over to the Olympic Park in Stratford. It's great for picnics, cycling. If you're into running, come for a run here. It's really, really nice. I highly advise you come and take a look because the planting's really nice, it's special as well, but it's a good day out as well. So I will see you again next week. We're just going to go off and explore a bit more of the park and then have some lunch. So I'll see you again soon. Bye.